Now back at Clipsham to start another section of the Rutland Round. That's the way. Now on the road between Clipsham and Stretton, it's quite hazy. The Rutland Round follows the road between these two villages. In Stretton, the Rutland Round goes under the A1 trunk road. Just past the A1, we join our first footpath of the day. Now on the Rutland Round with some views of woods. That's the way ahead to the corner of the wood. In fact, it meets the road. At the start of the next path, here's the usual confirmation that we're on the Rutland Round. That's the way ahead. Looks pretty bleak. On the other side of that bleak field, we turn left onto this grassy path beside this hedge. This is much better walking. At this point, the Rutland Round, and there's the waymark, joins a section of the Viking Way long distance footpath. And that's the waymark for that. The Viking Way is a long distance footpath from the south banks of the River Humber to Oakham, a distance of about 130 miles. Now approaching the village of Thistleton along the joint Viking Way Rutland Round path. That's the way ahead. Now at Thistleton village, here's a joint Viking Way Rutland Round footpath sign. Here's Thistleton Church. This medieval church has been rebuilt twice apparently. At this point, the Rutland Round leaves the route of the Viking Way. The Viking Way goes ahead along the road, but the Rutland Round turns left through these gates. Now the Rutland Round goes along this bridleway beside the hedgerow. Look at that for a ploughed field. The telegraph poles make an interesting landscape, and that's the way ahead along that hedgerow. Now approaching the woodland of Woodwell Head along the Rutland Round. At one of the corners of Woodwell Head, there's a blue Bridleway Rutland Round sign. That's the way ahead. The walk passes this interesting seat. Heading towards the village of Teigh in wonderfully remote Rutland country. Unfortunately, it's very hazy for distant views. The route crosses the disused Melton Mowbray to Oakham Canal, which was opened in 1802 but closed in 1848 after the new railway took all its trade. Now at Teigh village, here's Holy Trinity Church, rebuilt in 1782 at the personal expense of the then rector Robert Shervard. Inside Teigh Church. And there's the entrance to Teigh Church and the tower. Marvellous. Looking back to Teigh Church, now back on the Rutland Round. Between Teigh and Wissendine, the Rutland Round crosses this footbridge. On the way to Wissendine, the Rutland Round crosses the Leicester-Peterborough Railway. Now on the bridleway heading into Wissendine. There's an old pillbox on the bridleway into Whissendine, and that's the way ahead. Here's the Church of St Andrew, Whissendine. Splendid church. Look at that window, reticulated tracery. Another glorious view of St Andrew, Whissendine. Now out of Whissendine, heading up the bridleway towards Langham. That's the way ahead. The Rutland Round turns left along that path towards the village of Langham. Now in Langham village, there's a view of St Peter and St Paul, the church. Now on a bridleway on the Rutland Round between Langham and Barleythorpe. Now heading to Barleythorpe along Manor Lane. Further along Manor Lane, still heading to Barleythorpe. Very peaceful. Now in Barleythorpe village, only a very short distance now to go to Oakham railway station and the end of the walk. Now heading along the Rutland Round in Oakham towards the railway station. Now at Oakham station and the completion of today's walk along the Rutland Round and the completion of the whole Rutland Round walk.